The Cure Hospital in Uganda specializes in neurosurgical care for infants with hydrocephalus and spina bifida. This unique focus has fostered a strong community of mothers and fathers. Burdened and afraid, they come here to help their children, and in the process, they find support and comfort in their time of need.
My journey with Tiwa Jonah started right from the day of conceiving him. But after 6 months and 2 weeks, I went to see a radiographer. He called me inside his room. He told me, you know what, Mary, there's a problem. He told me, you have one baby, is normal, and the other baby has water in the head. I'd never heard of spina bifida. I've never heard of hydrocephalus. So it really terrified me. It disorganized me. I had to cry, asked God so many questions. I was like, God, but why me? Why me? Why me?
When we gave birth to our child, the community around us was telling us a lot of things. They were believing we had gone to witch doctors. Whenever they saw my child, they would laugh at me. But most of them were like, she has given birth to something we don't understand.
The whole community was against us. They all said that we had brought a bad omen to them and that they would all end up having children like this. My landlord chased us from his house because he said, you have a cursed child and you're bringing a curse to my house.
Having a child with a disability increases the vulnerability. Usually what happens, disability is considered a bad omen. Everyone is blaming them. They feel they have no way of escape. Life is difficult, and the family is even more vulnerable because probably they depend on the community for survival.
The whole village, and there they visit you, they give you gifts, what? They come and get hold of the baby. But this one, so they say, maybe it's a curse. They put under the bed, he cries from there, he dies, others killed. I remember I was alone.
But in a situation where this mother or father doesn't have a shoulder to lean on, to cry, that sense of loneliness and fear makes the situation worse.
When I saw Jonah for the first time, I had to cry. I cried. How am I going to help this boy? And yet I want him to grow up and he becomes a good person in the future. It was really hard for me. It was hard, very hard for me.
When they come here, many of the mothers, I could say 95%, they really have fear. When they come here and they see what's going on in the hospital, they develop hope. And if surgical intervention have been done early enough in life, many of them, they prosper and they do well.
Even after surgery, the families are usually still vulnerable, and we work alongside them even at their lowest points in life. We give them an audience. We want them to listen to their fears, just talk with them and share the truth and help them to understand how God values them and cares about them.
There's a lady called Immaculate. She saw me and the way I was crying. She came to me and held me and asked me, "Why are you crying?" She sat with me and started praying with me. We prayed for almost 2 hours and my tears began to dry. I, for the first time, began to feel this is my baby. Immaculate went to her office and brought me a new Bible.
We want to treat them physically and spiritually. We want them to be saved so that they can go back to their communities and tell the story to help create a Uganda that is more in love with God and His vision for children with disabilities.
If Cure was not here in Uganda to help the mothers and the children, our lives would be really miserable. We would live in segregation. We would not fit in the communities. We would not be included in anything because nobody would really want to have a child in that bad state. The community itself would just deny you. They sacrifice a lot to see that Jonah and the rest of the Cure children are getting medication, are getting proper medication. They are going through surgeries, and they also become useful and important people in the future. That they will also be a testimony unto the world that spinal bifida and hydrocephalus is a disability, but it's not an inability.